Heavy winds breach the open window, and a faintly glowing paper lantern is abruptly yanked from a wooden windowsill and swept up into the escalating storm. Mira doesn't freeze or calculate the risks of the weather. She reacts instantly to the theft, grabbing her raincoat and bolting out the front door to chase the receding light. Her grandmother calls out from the safety of the porch, warning her to stay away from the tree line. But the immediate need to recover the lost light overrides the instinct to stay safe indoors. The violent removal of the lantern acts as an immediate physical catalyst. The safe, predictable domestic world is left behind, replaced by a strict ticking clock as the light threatens to fade completely in the rain. The moment Mira crosses the tree line, the hostile weather stops. She steps under an impossibly lush forest canopy, illuminated entirely by bioluminescent flora and drifting fireflies. Here, she finds a small, trembling owl spirit named Pseudo. He is tangled in the underbrush, visibly fragile and terrified of the shadows gathering at the edges of the grove. The lantern she chased is entirely essential to this ecosystem. The ember inside it is the final flame of the ancient lantern tree. If that single flame burns out, the entire forest goes dark permanently. This discovery transforms the mission into a rescue operation for an entire realm. Mira now serves as the primary safeguard against the forest's total ecological collapse. The decay of the environment accelerates right in front of them. Without a stable light source, the vibrant colors of the forest begin rapidly draining into a flat, lifeless grayscale as ambient energy dies off. This physical deterioration forces an immediate shift in strategy. Mira and Pseudo launch into a desperate sprint, racing deeper into a landscape that is decaying beneath their feet. They navigate the shifting, hazardous terrain by utilizing the few remaining pockets of magic. Mira uses the broad caps of glowing mushrooms as temporary stepping stones to avoid the encroaching dead zones. She maintains her forward momentum at all costs, launching herself into a full sprint and leaping across a dangerous gap in a ruined stone bridge before it collapses entirely into shadow. Against a rapidly spreading systemic failure, intense physical momentum is the only viable defense. Taking a single moment to hesitate or double back would let the decay overtake them completely. The frantic sprint hits a sudden physical wall. Resting in the center of a grove is a massive, ancient tortoise spirit, completely dormant, sheltering the final flame inside a deep crack in its shell. This guardian presents a strict logistical impasse. It is entirely immune to physical force or loud, urgent demands. The high-speed strategy that kept them alive until now is suddenly useless. Mira abandons the panic of the chase. She sits quietly beside the giant creature and deploys a highly specific cultural tool, the exact lullaby her grandmother used to sing to her. The quiet acoustic rhythm of the human voice achieves what physical force could not. The song directly resonates with the core of the guardian, and the massive spirit slowly opens its eyes. Brute speed can bypass environmental hazards, but it cannot solve complex locked systems. Restoring this specific guardian requires patience, intimate emotional connection, and historical knowledge. The tortoise gently nudges the fragile flame out of its shell and transfers it into Mira's hands. With the cargo secured, the high-speed urgency immediately resumes. They sprint back along the exact path they came from. As the exposed flame passes through the decayed zones of the forest, the immediate environment briefly flares back to life, buying them the seconds they need. Reaching the center of the woods, Mira executes the precise mechanical action required to reboot the ecosystem, thrusting a glowing flame upward into the dry hollow of the lantern tree. The dormant core catches instantly. A biological chain reaction triggers, with golden light igniting from the inside out and spreading explosively through the sprawling canopy. This targeted ignition completely averts the collapse. By executing the final transfer precisely at the core point, the entire network is rapidly flooded with energy, restoring the structural integrity of the woods. The chaos of the storm and the decay is gone. The ecosystem settles into a thriving, highly active equilibrium, completely bathed in golden light and thick with rising fireflies. Mira walks calmly back across the threshold to her own yard. The frantic urgency of the night is replaced by quiet certainty, and a few lingering specks of magical light cling physically to her raincoat. Her grandmother is waiting for her on the porch, her knowing smile confirming that the earlier warning was a safeguard. It ensured that only a person with true belief would dare to cross the threshold and save the woods. These complex, hidden ecosystems do not sustain themselves in isolation. Their survival and their willingness to reveal themselves at all require active, unwavering belief from the people walking along their borders.